Midweek racing at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth comes your way on Wednesday, the 24th of April. Really looking forward to your company here at HQ with an 8-race card that gets underway at 12:30. It's perhaps a little bit escalated compared to other midweek race meetings because it is the day that the Hollywoodbets Durban July nominations will be revealed. So there'll be a little bit of extra interest, a little bit more talk. So come and join us here at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth for our 8-race card. I'm here in the Pocket Power room and I was just chatting to the crew how this room sets up on race day and how it doesn't set up on race day. I could actually get used to spending my day watching all the cricket, all the RPL, all the racing, all the rugby highlights, all the golf here in the Pocket Power room. Let's get to matters at hand, starting off with race number 1 on the 8-race card. And I think all the races probably have 1 or 2 horses that can win, maybe 3 in certain races. Difficult to nail a couple of bankers on the card, so I think the exotics will pay well. Number 12, Babylicious, could be the one they all need to beat in race 1. Between her and Dixieland Band, they have met before. They met on the 23rd of March here at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth when Babylicious finished in front of Dixieland Band. I suspect that form will hold sway. Elder De Meyer takes the ride for Candice Bass Robinson. Babylicious had 3 starts for 2 places. Her only blip on the radar was her first run over 1,000 metres, where she was not disgraced behind the ultimate winner, Gimme Fabulous. Talking about Dixieland Band, this for the Jazz Syndicate. Richard Fourie comes into the meeting on 260 winners for the season on his relentless quest of getting to 334, which will take him level with Anthony Delpeche, 335, which will break the record. He's got a good book of rides. Dixieland Band qualifies as a good book of, or part of the good book of rides. As mentioned, the run to Miss Will puts her just behind Babylicious. Her last start behind Dark Winter was not bad either, although finishing midfield wasn't too far behind, so she'll come in with a chance. So that's how the first leg of the bar pot looks. Moving on to race number 2, the Cape Racing Sales Maiden Plate for fillies and mares over 1,100 metres. I'll get to the first timer in just a few seconds. Easily the best form on offer belongs to number 2, Tequila Sky, but she's a 9-start maiden. She's banging at the door. Surely a winner's just around the corner. She's got a good chance here if none of the first timers are any good, because I think the form, bar hers, is a little bit shallow. So it looks like number 2, Tequila Sky, will be the one that they all need to beat, coming from an informed yard of Andre Null for Platinum Racing. They've been firing here in the Western Cape. Number 4, Pink Moon, also got to come into the reckoning as a horse with a chance, but has not run since September. So fitness needs to be taken on trust. But the first timers are very interesting. Number 3, Beware the Bomb, a daughter of Lancaster bomber. Sean Veal takes a ride for Justin Snaith. She looks like she might have a little bit more speed than some of the others, so it's worth watching her. 5, Miss Patty, looks like she'll come on with the run under the belt, being by Flower Alley out of a Rich Man Gold mare, but I think the further she goes, the better she'll be, so keep an eye on her going forward. But the most interesting first timer is number 8, Bella Vista. Richard Fourie up for Justin Snaith, and this daughter will give me the green light out of the great mare Bella Bella. Now, we've seen the first fall here at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth in 3 Queens. She won here the other day. She took a while to win, but I think she can progress and win a few more. Bella Vista, the reports in the front of the race card is quite positive about her chances. She won't need to be a world beater to win this race. Let's see how she goes and the similarities that she has to a great mare, Bella Bella. We shall see in the opening leg of the PA. Then on to race 3, the Cape Turf Club Maiden Plate. Start of the pick 6 at 1:45, 1,600 metres is the distance. And I think number 1, Damio, is just about ready to win. Draw 1's going to be a big advantage. JP van der Merwe is riding very well here in the Western Cape. Another winner here on Saturday for Gareth van Zyl. Damio last time over 1,200 metres, a little bit flat, but going back to the right type of distance should help him to no end. He's got to have a huge say, does number 1, Damio. It looks like he's just banging at the door. Last time beaten by Falupaki, who subsequently ran second. All of that looks positive for his chances. But number 3, Amancio, is going to come in with a chance. Hasn't run since mid-February rather. 4th to in the bag the last time he ran. That was quite a positive run, stepping forward from run 1 to run 2. Richard Fourie takes a ride for Brett Crawford. I think Brett could have a pretty fair day at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth, and I think Amancio can kick on with that last run under the belts, and with the improvement shown and the extra distance being by Silvano. All of that I think is going to favour him. So he'll take quite an interesting aspect in this race, with number 1, Damio, being the horse they all need to beat. Prince It's a Bet also interests me, stepping up in distance, but he's had his chances. I don't think he'll win is all that far away. And Etoile Falante, another horse who has some sort of winning claims, but I think 1 and 3 just the most likely winners in race number 3. Then we move on to race 4. This is the start of jackpot number 1, the Woodhill Racing Syndicate Open Maiden over 1,800 metres. I've isolated this race to 2 potential winners, starting off with number 10, Quieter King, a son of Versingetorix. JP van der Merwe takes the ride for Justin Snaith. Run third at his last 3 starts, and I saw enough from him last time, hitting the line over the closing stages with quite a bit in hand. I think that he's just about ready to win. Obviously, the draw's not ideal, so we'll need a little bit of luck in running, but he's got very compelling form, probably more compelling form than anyone else in the race. Carries 59.5 kilos on his back, does number 10, Quite a King, and he should take all the beating. But I have an opinion that number 2 on the card, Lord Say, is going to have a huge chance. Dean Kanemayer and Craig Zaki team up with the son of Oasis Dream. I've called him a couple of times, and he looks like he's going to progress over the extra distance. He's out of a mare by horse chestnut called Banbury, who was trained by Chesney Funzel, if I'm not mistaken. And even though his numbers might look a little bit underwhelming, I still think that there's something there for this horse now to come into his own. He is obviously Northern Hemisphere bred, so that puts him 6 months behind the 8 ball, so you can forgive him for perhaps coming to hand a little bit later than some of the others. Craig Zaki, of course, fresh off his 1,000th career win on Sunday at Hollywoodbets Gravel, so his confidence is up. Had his 100th winner of the season here at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth on Saturday, so all rooms facing the sea with Craig. Number 2, Lord Say, will, I think, run his best race to date and give Quite a King something to think about. I'm happy to hold that race to 2 in all bets. Then we go into race 5, start a jackpot number 2, the Cape Turf Club Syndicates Class 5 for fillies and mares. They go 1,400 metres. Now this is interesting because I know Justin Vermaat's going to have a few words. If number 2, Ticking Bomb, wins, being a maiden, taking on winners, that is very, very interesting, and I think it should be done a little bit more. We've seen a few trainers around the country pull that off of late, and I think that open mind is something that we're going to see quite a bit of. Now, Ticking Bomb has to lug around 60.5 kilos as a maiden, but let's now compare apples with apples and look at the form. Her last run, she ran 3.5 lengths behind Plum Pudding. Plum Pudding came out and franked her own form. All of that has got to be a big pointer into the direction of number 2, Ticking Bomb. I'd like to believe Plum Pudding beats a little bit better than what Ticking Bomb is meeting here. Glenn Cotson's yards come to life. Craig Zaki takes the ride. Glenn's had a couple of winners here over the last few weeks and a few down in Durban as well. So all of that's now starting to come to hand at a very important time of the season. So for all of those reasons, I think Ticking Bomb, also being out of a dam who stayed all day, probably going to have a very, very good chance of winning against Open Company. Could be a very shrewd move from Glenn Cotson. For Veronique, honest, 39 starts, 2 wins, 19 places. Another from Enyon running later on in the day, who I think is pretty much cut from the same cloth, who's going to have a good chance. And weirdly, I think number 9, Your Eyes Only, could be in a good spot to run a nice race. I think she could also sneak into the money, but Ticking Bomb definitely the most interesting runner in the 5th. Then on to race 6. This race is wide open, but for all the right reasons. There are lots in here with chances. I think winning chances qualify for number 2, Port Louis, 3, My Golly Molly, 4, We're Jamming, 6, Zil Marie, 7, Zumi, and 8, Coastal Commander. I think all of those horses have winning claims, but number 2, Port Louis, probably the best winning chance on the back of his run, the Variety Club Mile here at the start of the month, finishing 2nd to Rascallion, only receiving 3.5 kilos from Rascallion, a horse that's proven itself as being up to running at the highest level, and his win in the Variety Club Mile, I think, sets him up for the features going forward throughout the winter. Richard Ferree takes a ride for Brett Crawford in the colours of Mukun Gujadeur. A good draw is going to be in his favour, and I think that he has got the most compelling form to work with, especially on the back of his last run. Alas, 3, My Golly Molly, winner of the Langerman as a 2-year-old. Big chance. Is he a wet weather horse? Probably. So we don't expect the heavens to open up before Wednesday. If they do, for some miracle, the number 3, My Golly Molly's got to be respected. 4, We're Jamming is probably the best performed horse in the race. He comes in here for a rating of 110 from a much higher mark not so long ago. I think they're battling to find his best distance. I think they're battling to get this horse back onto the conveyor belt of winning. But I don't think that a winning turn is too far away for the son of Duke of Marmalade. There have been a number of runs where evidence is there that a win's not too far away, just battling to get the job done. I think when he gets his nose in front, he could go on a bit of a streak. Number 4, We're Jamming. Don't let him run loose here. Other horses, 6, Zil Marie, ridden by Craig Zaki, model of consistency. Vincent Aberge at his last start, wasn't disgraced behind Fairy Night. Zumi, good enough to feature. Recent form, perhaps a little bit dicey. If he comes back to his best, he can give things a shake. And number 8, Coastal Commander, ran 4th in the Splash Out Cape Derby the last time he was seen behind Green with Envy. 2nd in the Gold Rush. All of those runs are very interesting to throw him into the melting pot with Ashton Aries on board for Vaughan Marshall, and Vaughan, of course, flying at the moment. Then on to race 7, perfectly placed middle stakes for fillies and mares. Don't forget to catch some perfectly placed with us leading up to the various race meetings. 7th race, anything can win. Stab in the dark, I'm going with Miss Marguerite, who is number 7 on the card. Aldo de Mea rides for Pete Stain. Maybe she is also looking for the rain, for the sting out of the ground. That's where she seems to be best. I also would have preferred to see her in a handicap before following her with any great confidence. Hence, I'm not 10 out of 10 confident with number 7, Miss Marguerite, but I'm as confident with her than quite a few others in this race. So a race that you might want to tread a bit warily with. Winter Rainfall, there's a horse that you don't want to let run loose. Robert Carty rides for Canis Bass Robinson. She's a good deal better than her last start, where she was behind Distinction, who she meets again. I think she'll close the deficit, maybe not turn it around, but I think she'll close the deficit and make various bigger bets pay. And then on to the 8th and last race, off at 4:45, the Hollywoodbets Bright Future. Class 5, and they go 1,100 metres yet again here at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth, and drawn hard up on the outside, running as close to the pocket power room as can be, hopefully, will be number 12, Wordsworth, under Richard Faree for Greg Enyon. 52 starts, 2 wins, but 20 places. The 20 places obviously confirms the reliability about him and running nice races and giving his all. He's a real soldier. He's been lovely to follow for Greg Enyon. He's been a money spinner. Greg, of course, owns him. Winning comes at a premium with number 12, Wordsworth, but I think he's now in the right type of waters for him to have his winning turn now. Drawn towards the outside, don't know whether that'll be an advantage or not, but thankfully by race 8 we will know, and I just don't see too much going for some of the others in this race. Number 11, Final Move, on the back of a rating drop, might need a little bit more help before he wins. Why Not Jackie won with Contemptuous Ease last time out, but now she's got life a little bit harder with a 5-point penalty to lug round. Whiskey Bravo showed signs of life. You'd like to see him confirm that before you can follow him. Just the numbers stack up in the favour of Wordsworth, of him just being a horse that's going to be there and thereabouts. If he doesn't win, then he should go very, very close. So that's how I see the final race on the card. I think it's a lovely day here at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth on Wednesday in terms of the racing. Yes, we might lack the feature races, and it's not going to quite be the buzz that we had here at the Community Fest race day here on Saturday. But I think for all the right reasons, come out here, bring your family, bring your friends, and have a lovely day with us here at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. We hope to see you there.